just the second time, by the way, in UFC history that two undefeated males fight for a UFC championship. The first, UFC 98, Rashad versus Lyoto, of course, eventually won by Lyoto Machida. Now, you could put a little asterisk there because, of course, when you fought John Jones, technically, in most people's eyes, you were both undefeated, but technically you had the one against Matt Hamill. So officially,
that's absurd. He's undefeated. The guy's undefeated.
I appreciate you saying that, but officially, this is just the second time. By the way, that was 11 years ago. There's been 150 UFC title fights. This hasn't happened again. So it just speaks to how special this fight is. These guys hate each other. I love the dynamic. Can you give us an early look into the fight? How do you think it plays out? And if you want to give us a pick, that'd be nice too.
Ariel, I love this fight. I mean, I think this is one of the most exciting fights the UFC can make. I think that Israel Adesanya is a massive star. As you see, man, it seems like the sun just came down. Is my face starting to look a little different now?
No, you look great.
It's fine.
Okay. Yeah. The hair looks nice.
Israel Adesanya is just one of those guys that now I watch him and I feel like I can feel almost like the start radiate off of him. But Paulo Costa is as dangerous a fighter as anyone can hope for. And, when I look at the matchup, I know that Izzy likes to counter, right? That's why the Romero fight was so bad. Both of them were waiting for chances to counter. Paulo Costa will give him those opportunities because Paulo Costa is not going to stand back with him. He's going to go after him. He's going to fight him with so much pressure, so much forward pressure that Izzy will have his chances to find those counter opportunities. The problem with that is no one's been able to stop Paulo Costa from fighting in the exact way that he wants to. Very interesting fight. And it's hard to know who's going to get the victory, honestly, because for as good as Izzy is, I believe Paulo Costa is just as skilled, just as talented, and as powerful as any guys I've seen. I mean, this guy looks like a heavyweight fighting at 185 pounds. I don't know how he makes weight. I was talking to his one of his coaches, Eric Albarracin, right? And they were talking about a guy going in to be one of his training partners, a kickboxer I used to use. And I was like, he's tough. I was like, he works hard. He'll always fight you. He goes, good, because Paulo needs so many guys because a week and a half in, he breaks them and he has to replace the training partners because he does not go to protect his partners. He goes through you and then give me the next guy. Reminds me of Kane back in the day. So interesting fight. Izzy will have his spots to counter because Costa's going to bring a lot of pressure.
He's known as the eraser, so I'm not surprised to hear him do that, Paulo Costa. I love the fight because of the history, because it's just the second time two undefeated males, because they truly hate each other. Remember last week we were talking about Jorge and Kamaru hugging. These guys are not going to hug.
They're not going to hug,
right?
No,
there'll be no hugging whatsoever. No hugging. You know what I also love about the fight? In this day and age, everyone has an opinion. I mean, even with your fight, some people are like, oh, Francis should fight Stipe. Oh, John Jones should fight Jan or Dominic Reyes. Kamaru, I say the Edwards and Gilbert Burns and Masvidal rematch. There is no other fight for the 185-pound title that we want to see, right? This is the fight. Like, there's no debate. They want the fight. We want the fight. I love that about it. And to your point, I also love the fact that Izzy's a little annoyed that everyone jumped off his bandwagon after the Romero fight. I mean, we forget – last year, arguably the fighter of the year, incredible performance against Robert Whittaker, right? I mean,
Gastelum fight was
fight
crazy.
Of the year against Kelvin Gastelum. The Anderson fight was fun. And then all of a sudden the guy has one, substandard fight, which really wasn't his fault, in my opinion. Everyone's like, oh, he's a bum. This fight will not be boring because of what you just said. Costa doesn't know how to wait. Like, he just goes full force. And that might be ultimately his undoing in this fight, because I can see a situation where like almost Izzy's going backwards and knocks him out like a Stipe versus Verdum situation. But I love this fight.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.